Welcome back everyone, hope you're all doing well. In this video, I'll be teaching you how to use Mass Wallbreakers. It sounds extremely stupid, well, it is very stupid, but with the strategies that I'm going to show you, it's going to be a very useful asset for this strategy. They create so much distraction, it is insane. Now without further ado, let's jump into the army comp. This is the army that I've cooked up. I'm going to do a warden charge fireball attack because it is one of the strategies where your hero can be somewhat independent without too much help of other troops, other than for distraction or for funnel. So I'm going to cover the troops, the spell, the siege machine, my CC, and my hero. For the troop, because I'm doing a warden charge, I need 5 healers, and I'm going to use 2 Coco Loons to test for any air trap. I have 2 Yetis, 1 baby dragon, and 1 Valkyrie. They'll be used to create pathing for the heroes, and also to protect the flame flinger, which I'm going to talk about, especially the Yeti. The baby dragon is basically here to create a nice funnel, and the Valkyrie can also help for funnel, but is also here to destroy those pesky skeleton traps that can go on top of your flame flinger. Then after, it's Mass Wallbreaker, baby. I have 100 wallbreakers. They're going to help to open the compartments for your hero, especially for the hero dive, and it's going to help to create a lot of distraction, both for your RC, more or less for your warden, because he still have a lot of healers on him, so he should be fine, but mostly importantly, your RC and your hero dive, meaning your king and your queen. And just in case I need to deal with a hero, especially on my warden, I have 1 headhunter. With the spells, it's going to be very simple. I have 4 invisibility spells and 2 earthquake. They'll help to create the setup for the perfect fireball. I have 2 skeleton spells. They'll be used mostly for my hero dive, but you can also use it for your warden or for your RC just in case. But keep in mind that you need to prioritize your hero dive, so use those 2 skeleton spells for them. I have 1 free spell, just in case I need to freeze a single inferno, a monolith, a geared up cannon, etc. And I have a rage spell to boost the healing and damage output of my warden, but mostly the healing. For the siege machine, I decided to use the flame flinger because it's able to take on a compartment itself. I know it's slow, but because this attack is quite slow, then it'll have all its time. So flame flinger will be able to destroy the area, and the CC inside, which I'm going to talk right now. 4 super minions, they'll help to clear off more buildings and trash buildings. I have 1 Coco Loon to scout for any air traps, and a minion. I also have 1 extra rage spell, just in case I need it to boost the damage output and the healing output of the healers in the warden. If I don't need it, I can use it for my RC or with my hero dive. And I have a poison spell, just in case I need to deal with the CC. For the king, I have the phoenix, the earthwood boots, and the spiky ball. I have the phoenix just so that the king can revive and get more value overall, and the earthwood boots and the spiky ball so that he can open up the compartment for him and for the queen, and the spiky ball to create more damage overall. For the queen, I've decided to pair her with Frosty because the frost mites are very useful to mitigate damage and slow them down. I have the action figure because it spawns an extra tanking unit that deals a lot of damage. It's like a mini hero. And I have the mirror because it's going to deal a lot of burst damage in a very important area. You can switch up one of the equipments for the healer puppet if you need, but this is very optimal. For the warden, obviously, I have the fireball and the rage gem. You could use Sneezy, but I've decided to up with the angry jelly because you need to speed up the attack since the wall breakers won't do much cleaning. It's just distraction. So all your heroes will be the ones who will destroy the base completely without taking in consideration the other troops. And last but not least, the RC. Very simple equipments, very simple pet, very classic. The spirit fox to help her get invisible and to mitigate more damage. The rocket spear to help deal a lot of damage very far away, so that way she doesn't die right away to heavy hitting defenses. So it's really good. And the electro boots just to deal more damage around, to clear off any trash buildings in case, or to destroy any types of skeleton traps. That's the army. Let's jump into planning. For the planning, other than the fireball, you don't really have much to plan because this attack just goes along the flow. Maybe a little bit with your hero dive, but that's all. That being said, let's do some planning and hopefully the plan into the attack can work. So you want to get as much value as possible with your fireball. So you need to locate the best defense. And I think I see the best defense right here. This air sweeper. It could be the other air sweeper right here, but I think that because this is symmetrical base, it doesn't really matter. So let's say this air sweeper, alright? You get this multi-inferno tower, this one as well, this fire spitter, poison spell, and the CC as well. I think that's good value, and I believe you get all of this under the level 21 fireball, which is extremely good. It is a very good value. If you have a level higher than 21, then you'll get more value and more damage output, meaning you're going to secure really good value. Now that being said, I'll send my warden down there. I'm going to clear up those buildings right there, and then after once all that's done, I believe that'll take all the time for the angry jellyfish to come off. Once he targets a trash building, let's say those that pet house or this elixir pump or this gold mine, most optimally will be like a storage unit, because he's going to be focused on this one for quite a long time, meaning you have time to set up your fireball without him going in another area. So once that's done, you're going to invis this target, you're going to invis this target, and you're going to invis this target. So 3 invisibility spells, and after you shoot your fireball, actually no, before shooting your fireball, you want to throw your earthquake first, and then after shoot your fireball at a very short period of time from your earthquake spell. And here's the reason. The earthquake spell takes actually few seconds before it does all of its damage, meaning if you throw your fireball, it's instant damage, and then after you send earthquake, it's going to take a little bit of time before doing all of its damage. While that's doing so, if there's a builder hut next to those defenses or those trash buildings, like they said, there's a builder hut right here that's not affected by fireball but close enough to repair those buildings, this builder hut can make the difference. It can make or break your attack. It is very important you send your earthquake first, then after your fireball. I know this is very risky because let's say you miss a defense right here, like a hidden Tesla right there, and you didn't see it, and then fireball goes there, you could have messed up your attack. But either way, if you're not able to destroy the targeted buildings like the multi-inferno towers, I mean they'll fall, but let's say the fire spitters or the clan castle, then it could break your attack. So I think the risk is worth taking. It's a high risk, high reward strategy, but it is worth to take the risk. Now that we secured the value, you're going to take down this much value. Very good fireball, everything is destroyed. Now you have created a great pathing for your hero dive. Now before starting the hero dive, you need to think, where do you want to put your flame flinger? And honestly, you can put it pretty much nowhere because of all those ground expo, which are going to target all of your flame flinger anywhere you want to place it on the map. But I feel like this area right here is going to be the most optimal one. Of course, you need to destroy those mortars, but you can do it with a baby dragon and maybe a yeti afterwards. The yeti could maybe tank some few mortar shots, and then after you place your flame flinger, you can target 1 or 2 shots on top of this mortar, and then after you can target those buildings right there and right there, meaning you get good value overall. You can path in that direction hopefully and doesn't go right away here, but other than that, placing it right there, your flame flinger, is going to be the most optimal place to get as much value as possible. Going to destroy a lot of value right here, going to be very, very good for your hero dive and for your warden charge as well as for your RC. Now for the hero dive, honestly, I'd place it right there. The hero dive, you want to place it usually the other side of your warden charge. So let's say your warden charge is going that way, then maybe you want to send your hero dive that way, which could be good. But here's the thing, there's a lot of heavy hitting damage like this geared up cannon or this monolith, even this multi-archer tower. And if you want to send them on top right here, then you need to clear off a lot of defenses with the flame flinger. So it's going to take a while. What I'd recommend is, even though you want to send your warden in that direction to take down the town hall, you can send your hero right there, your king and your queen. I think that's good value. You can open up the compartments if you want. You can make them walk a little bit until they enter right there. They're going to take down the fire spitter. They're going to take care of this multi-inferno tower as well as this poison tower, while the warden is stuck on the town hall destroying it. He won't be forced inside with the hero dive basically. So everything is all independent. And now once the town hall falls and once your hero dive got a lot of value, then you want to send your RC and you want to support either your hero dive or your warden. Now honestly, I could send my RC right there, destroying those trash buildings right here, and then after she can continue pathing in that direction. You can use your rocket spear to destroy this building without getting targeted first, and those buildings as well. And once everything is going to get clamped up, so let's say the RC is able to take down this area right here, your hero dive are able to take down this area, and of course your warden is able to take down pretty much this area including the fireball, then all the areas left is this one. And once you do, you want to sprinkle all your remaining wall breakers to create as much distraction as possible during the attack, especially for your hero dive and your RC, but mostly for your hero dive. You want to sprinkle in wall breakers all the time. You don't want to spam them all together because you still need to keep some, but let's say right here before you start hero dive, you want to send maybe a yeti if you still have one, or a few wall breakers, maybe 5 to begin with, and then after you send your king and your queen, and then you keep crippling those defenses with the wall breakers. You keep sending one by one, so it could be like a very fast pattern that you can do to send them, not hold them, just tap on the screen quite fast if you want. Then once you arrive near the ricochet cannon, you can sprinkle 2 wall breakers at a time. That way the ricochet cannon is stuck on it for quite a while your hero can be able to destroy it, mostly your queen. For your RC, she can be deployed, and then after, before she goes visible, you can send few wall breakers right there, so that way you protect not only your fox but also your RC, meaning your fox can get more value overall. And once everything is getting closer to the final part right there, this is where you want to send all your remaining wall breakers to create more tanking, and afterwards the base is going to be completely destroyed. So I know the attack is not the greatest, I know the planning is kind of scuffed, it's a fireball attack so it's very strong, everything is mostly independent, but I know the wall breakers are very weak, they're not that useful in general, especially especially as a main troop. However, in this scenario, they're the star of the show because they keep putting a lot of distraction for your hero dive, for your RC, even maybe for your flamethrower if you want to test for Teslas as well. Like you can send 1 or 2 wall breakers just for any hidden Teslas in the area, or even traps. This will be very useful. Not really your warden. Your warden is mostly independent. He has a really long range. He's going to be fine alone. You might need to use some rage spell to boost the healing from time to time, maybe here or there. But other than that, it's very good. It's just full distraction over and over again. And because they target walls, most of them might go deep inside the base, meaning they won't be stuck on trash buildings, meaning they can actually go in further than other troops and actually protect your heroes. So that's the scuff planning. Let's jump into attacks. As always, I'm going to showcase the attack at 1x speed, so that way you can check and how the flow is with this attack. Then after, I'm going to showcase and explain more in detail about this attack. Now I have 2 replays, so I'm just going to show the first one at 1x speed. I don't need to show the other one at 1x speed, but this is to show you guys the flow of this attack and how it's supposed to work. Now if you want to skip this part and you want to directly go into the explanation right now, then I'm going to put a timestamp and you can skip to this time right to the explanation. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Check for a fireball for the best value as possible. Then after, you want to send your flame flinger, and then after your hero dive, and to support your attack, you want to send your RC. Then everything is going to clamp up together to go to the final area and destroy everything. So let's jump into the attack. So right here, I've decided to send few wall breakers to test if there are any hidden Teslas or any traps. Then after, I sent the Yeti because, as you can see, this archer tower's range is close enough so that it can actually target my flame flinger, and I want to send my flame flinger around this area to get protected. So I send the Yeti first. Then after, I'm going to send my flame flinger. While that's happening, my warden is just doing its warden charge, doing its job. You need to keep a keen eye on it so that you make sure that he doesn't die. Now he's under the multi-inferno tower damage and a multi-archer tower damage, which is not the end of the world. He can easily survive, but take a close look at him because you're going to enter this range of this geared up defense, and that actually does a lot of damage on your warden, quite surprisingly. So I had to place a rage because I thought I was under a lot of damage. After I placed another rage because, as you can see, I was under the 2 X-bows actually, and this geared up defense, which actually deals a lot of damage, as you can see. Well, everything that's happening right here. My flame flinger is still safe. I'm still having a keen eye on it just in case there are any skeleton traps spawning around for some reason. So I have a Valkyrie ready to be sent in case that happened. So I've decided to send my fireball first. I know I should have sent my earthquake first, but as you can see, I've placed them really fast after the fireball, meaning they're going to be hit before the fireball and will get a lot of value. Now, I don't recommend this because just in case there's a builder hut nearby like this one, you could actually repair those buildings, like let's say the monolith or the Clan Castle if it was close. It's not going to repair those buildings because they're way too far. I think they're just going to target those buildings. Yeah, it's way too far. But be careful with that. Make sure to send your fireball after your earthquake spells. So a quick funnel with the baby dragon. I've opened the compartment right here with you wall breakers, and then after I send a Yeti tank as well as a skeleton spell. Then after I send my king and my queen for the hero dive. I've sent another skeleton spell just to make sure that everything is tanked. And as you can see, I'm sprinkling from time to time wall breakers. I'm not holding down my thumb on the screen, as you can see. That way it doesn't waste all of my wall breakers. You want to tap, you want to send a few, of course at a high pace, but you don't want to send and deploy all of your wall breakers. They're very important for this attack to create a lot of distraction, and they can actually go deep in the base, meaning unlike other troops like the goblin or the goblins could actually go inside the base quite good, but they might drift onto these collectors first. They're not the best. The barbarians and the archers, they won't enter inside the base. They'll just stall outside, and then after, once everything is destroyed, they'll go to the nearest building and go inside. While the wall breakers can actually go inside and destroy those walls right here, meaning they can take the aggro for a little bit of time, mitigating just a tiny bit of damage, but enough to make the difference for this attack. Now while that's happening, I've sent my RC down with the warden. I wanted to increase the firepower with the warden, therefore I sent my RC, and both of them will be able to take down this area. My king and queen will be able to take down this area and actually go up. My flame flinger is starting to get low, but you can see that it never took any damage, meaning it got tons of value. Once it's going to break, a lot of super minions will spawn and will actually cripple those buildings, helping with your hero dive and potentially your warden charge with your RC once they finish with this area. So right now, I've stopped sprinkling some wall breakers because I don't need it. Defenses are way too far, or they're almost all broken. I could send maybe 1 or 2, but honestly, it doesn't really matter at this point. The warden's already locked in on my RC. The warden's just going to die anyway. That's good. So now I'm just waiting until everything goes close to this compartment. The final wall, as you can see, everything is clumped up. All of the base is destroyed and everything's going to circle around the final one, meaning I just send all my remaining wall breakers to create a lot of distraction, and that will be it. That will be the attack. Look at the distraction. The multi-archer tower, this mortar, this ricochet cannon, they're all focused on the wall breakers. And that's really good, meaning that all of your heroes right here, they're safe. They're safe, they won't die to them. Well, I mean, obviously they could die beforehand, but right now they're still alive. They're still taking a lot of mitigated damage from the wall breakers. And I believe all my heroes are alive. So I have the queen, I have the king as well, I have my warden, and the RC is still alive somewhere. I think she's right here, yeah. So all of my heroes are still alive. Imagine that in a mass wallbreaker attack. And now it's all about beating the clock. Since you don't really have any cleanup troops except for your Valkyrie and your Headhunter, then you want to save it for remaining defenses or trash buildings at the end. You don't want to time fail, and with this attack you may time fail, so you need to accelerate this attack quite fast. Luckily, everything was fast enough to go finish those trash buildings, so I got a triple. Now let's jump into the second replay. This base looks very interesting because you can actually get tons of value from basically the core. So this is a perfect base for this strategy. Now, we're going to do a warden charge, we're going to send our flame flinger to a safe spot, then after we're going to send our hero dive, and after our RC, everything's going to clamp up to the last remaining compartment, and it's going to be a bloodbath. I've sent few wall breakers, as you can see, in those specific spots, so that way I can test if there are any hidden Teslas. Then after, I'll send my flame flinger, and it's going to destroy those areas. Once it's going to come close to this area, I'm going to send a Yeti to tank. I send a Yeti right here. Once I know that this Wizard Tower is going to fall very soon, it's going to take the aggro of this mortar. While that's happening, my Anchor Jelly timer ran off, and now my Warden's targeting this building. Now he's going to retarget to this one, if I can click it, this gold storage, and then after I'm just placing some invisibility spells to get as much value as possible. So I did the same thing. I threw the fireball, then after my earthquakes, while I should have sent my earthquake spell first, then after the fireball. But because I'm hitting the earthquake quite fast, way before the fireball arrives on the main target, then I get my value nonetheless. But it's very risky. I believe I've made an attack. Now the replays are gone for some reason because of the new update. But basically I sent my earthquake like this and like the other replay. And actually the monolith and the Clan Castle actually survived, which was really bad. I still tripled, but it was extremely scuffed. It was really risky. I almost time fell basically. But I was lucky that my warden was able to take down this area by itself. So very important, place your earthquake spell first, then after send your fireball. Now, as you can see, I've sent some wall breakers to open this compartment, and then I send my Yeti, and then after my hero dive, they're going to walk alongside this flame flinger and this warden charge without taking the warden with them. So everything is still independent. I'm still going to wall break this area. That way the king and the queen can enter this compartment and destroy everything. The flame flinger got really good value. It's going to continue getting value alongside the hero dive. You can see I kept sprinkling some wall breakers to take the aggro. Right now it's not really working because of those multi-inferno tower, and as you can see this ricochet cannon is already locked on my king, but I used another skeleton spell right here just to take the aggro before my hero dive comes to this area. Now, very important to keep a key 9 with your warden. And as you can see, I've placed a rage spell because I knew that it's going to target the queen. And the queen is actually level 100, meaning it's going to destroy your warden without any rage spell. So send a headhunter, then send a rage spell as well to boost the healing for your warden and to finish the queen off very fast. You want her gone as fast as possible. This time I've decided to send my RC next to the hero dive to support them, and I've sent few wall breakers beforehand to test the area and to take the aggro first, and then after I send the RC. Now, I know my king and queen are dead, but they got enough value. I should have kept a little bit more wall breakers during this area where they were dying to the multi-inferno towers, and have more in this area. That way, some defenses will take the aggro on it, as well as the enemy heroes, hopefully. But everything went well. I've distracted enough so that my heroes were able to get enough value. I still have my super minions right here. I still have my RC. I froze the enemy king just in case, and it's basically crushed. Like, there's not enough damage to kill my warden. So it's all about beating the time now. But this one was a little bit closer. As you can see, I needed to keep more wall breakers for the end, and I should have saved them near the multi-inferno towers. They were pretty much useless and they were a waste of my space. But other than that, as you can see, it definitely works. It's really tricky, but I guess it works. In conclusion, I do not recommend using this attack unless you're really crazy. It is extremely difficult to pull off. It might be base dependent as well, but you also need to place your wall breakers smartly so that you create the best tanking possible for your hero dive and for your RC. But other than that, the saving factor is that they can actually go inside the base to target the walls inside and actually get the aggro temporarily, mitigating a lot of damage for your heroes. So even though this is the worst troop to use for an attack, in this scenario, it does somewhat work, which is really impressive. It is actually pretty funny. I don't think it's stronger than Super Barbarian Fireball or Root Riders or Fireball Rocket Looms, no. But it is to show that this troop can actually work in an attack, and this setup actually works perfectly for them. It synergizes well with your heroes. It synergizes very well with this type of attack. I mean, just as a proof. So anyway, that was the end of the guide. I hope you guys enjoyed this weird and surprisingly strong attack, I guess. As always, the army comp will be linked in the description below if you want to try it for yourself. I think it's really fun, and if you're a fan of Fireball Warden Charge attack, I think that could be a funny attack to use, especially in war if you're able to practice and master this attack. I believe you can. Like, it definitely works. There's definitely a pattern you can learn about it. But either way, for the people, I do not recommend it to use it in wars or in clan war league unless you want to get kicked from your clan. So that's all. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know in the comments below which strats you want to see next, and without further ado, I'll see you guys in the next guide.